Welcome back to Rogue Trader. Pascal is still with us. We are this close to getting to Dargonus, so let's get to it. After, of course, we collect all the prizes from our last fight.
In this tapestry of a world, I am the rogue thread.
Did this happen on my ship? Wait, this happened on my ship. This is our void ship. I remember this room. So turns out these guys did get on board. Already explored. So what remains is Dargonus. We made it. We're finally here. Von Valancius Palace or Administratum. Let's go to the palace. The Emperor protects. Welcome home, your ladyship. I am Clementia Wersarian, court councillor of the von Valancius dynasty. On behalf of all our Dargonus, please accept my deepest condolences on the ultimately passing of Theodora von Valancius. Her departure is a terrible blow to us all, but as one star expires, another always flares to life. And though still overcome with bitterness and grief, your subjects hope that you will become the Trade Dynasty's guiding light in these trying times. Clementia? The young man quickly brings a respirator to his burned face and bows his head courteously. His raven black hair veils his burns and skull implants, and his thin metal fingers creak quietly as he offers a welcoming gesture. Achilles Calendar, secretary at the Administratum department. I hope your journey to Dargonus was not darkened by unwanted troubles. It was terrible! The Emperor protected us on our journey through the stars. And may he remain merciful to us till the end of time. Does your ladyship wish to survey the grounds? Or perhaps we could sate your curiosity by answering any questions you might have. Governor Urban Drivestem has been notified of your arrival on Dargonus and will visit the palace shortly. The preparations for the official visit are well in hand, but your ladyship still has plenty of time before the meeting. Hold on a moment, Clementia. What did you say your last name was? You heard correctly, your ladyship. I am of House Wersarian, Lord Abelard's granddaughter and direct descendant. Granddaughter, you look older than Abelard. How old is Abelard? The succession of service is an effective good. It grants new generations understanding of their function within the mechanism. Chancellor Wersarian was held her position at the von Valancius court for many years. She earned Lord Captain Theodora's respect through acts of great perseverance. There's no room for doubt. Blood had nothing to do with it. The Emperor blesses those who strengthen humanity's domain through their deeds. You have reason to be proud of your progeny. Thank you, Lord Captain. Why isn't the governor here with you to greet me? Apologies, your ladyship. Governor Drivestem's residence is on the other side of the world. by the Administratum Palace of Dargonus. We send word as soon as you entered the system, but it takes time to travel the great distances of your domain. Chancellor Wersarian appears unruffled, but you cannot shake the thought that the governor's lateness is a subtle political gesture designed to test the limits of what is acceptable when it comes to interacting with a new rogue trader. I would like to rest before the meeting. Where are my chambers? They are very close, just down the hall. That is also where the study and the audience chambers are. Lady Theodora's study has remained locked since her last departure, but on account of your arrival, we've arranged for it to be tidied up. It is ready whenever you may need it. You are dismissed. I apologize for my bluntness, but I have a request to make. Perhaps before the meeting takes place, the illustrious Lord Captain could spare a few minutes for a conversation with me. I'm certain that you will find my report on the state of affairs in the von Valancius Protectorate most useful. There is loot to be had here, and I will obtain it. Give me those wait, where's my team? Team? Open this, please. Hello? Why am I alone? Oh, thank God I unlocked it. I don't know why my team is not with me anymore. Thank God this was unlocked already. Looks like I cannot talk to my team members at the moment. Where is this guy who wanted to talk to me? Where you at, boy? Just a bunch of wardens here. Agente's in the back. Let's explore the grounds. We might find something interesting. Plaque list of the names of each rogue trader to have led the von Valancius dynasty, dating back to the day of the blah 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 blah. Okay. Mundus Valancius. What the hell is Mundus Valancius? I don't see the guy. Did he move? Or maybe he's inside. I don't know. A nobleman? Iliot? Aristocrats? Welcome, your ladyship. Let me inform you of the location of the chambers on your dynastic estate. The main throne room is up the stairs and straight ahead. Your subject Achilles Calendar informed me that he humbly awaits the opportunity to meet you there. If your ladyship wishes to rest after your long journey, then your personal chambers are up the stairs and on the right. Who is dying back there? I can hear you. If you need anything, whatever your soul desires, I'll be right next to your chambers, eagerly awaiting your orders. Thank you, child. You may go now. I am exhausted. I want to see who's curling. Oh, it's just servitors. Allow me, I'll be taking these. Thank you. I'm looking for that one guy. These are not my chambers, are they? Clementia Wersarian. Idira is here. Your ladyship, the governor is waiting on the periphery of the palace. Please let me know when you would like to see him. The sharp gaze, the impeccably straight back, the composure. For a moment you feel like you're looking at a younger version of Abelard himself, not his heir. Judging by the scars on the exposed parts of her body, Clementia saw her fair share of combat prior to assuming the position of Chancellor. The governor can wait a little longer. I still have matters to take care of. Certainly, your ladyship. I am still looking around and looting, if that's alright with you. Mundus Avalanches? No, no, no. Why is there a ship inside the palace? Abelard! Where is that other guy? They said my chambers are to the right, so there? Wait, more loot. Yoink. Honestly, I don't see the guy. Is he down here somewhere? This have to be my chambers, so this door leads to... Can you open the door for me? Never mind.
Oh, what curiosity unveils itself before me.
Whenever the wearer moves through a cell occupied by an enemy, the wearer gains 15% dodge against that enemy attacks until the wearer's next turn. Okay, it's fine, I guess. Yoink. I am looting my room. Uh-oh. I could blow it up. Multi-melter. Two-handed range weapon. Range for... let me see. Does he like this? Has better range. More armor penetration. Yeah. Abelard, I'm working with you, buddy, here. Antique piece of furniture is obviously well cared for, and surface is still covered with a lot of scuffs, blah blah. Yeah. Oh my god, I have a balcony. My loyal subjects. I was not expecting a cutscene. Impressive. A sturdy safe equipped with several bizarre mechanisms. I just open this thing. Wait, they're hiding a weapon in there. What's that? By bringing your hand to the scan panel behind the books, you open a hidden door. Oh my god! A mysterious Xeno artifact rests in a stasis field. Shelves of the library are laden with dusty tomes. Item undoubtedly created by inhuman hands. Looks like a weapon to me. Plasma Shaper Gloves. Grant the wearer a 10 bonus to tech use. They also increase the damage of plasma weapons by 3. Zealot Cloak. Wearer deals 10% damage with their area attack for each stack of the Zealot effect. Okay. Good shit. Empty glass and 3 unopened bottles of wine. Dust has accumulated on the raised oil smears. If servants ever access this room, yeah, can sit down here. The secret room is remarkably quiet and almost homely. Perhaps your predecessor used it when she sought complete solitude. Listening to the muted melody coming from the Vox speaker, you can easily imagine Theodora reading a book with a glass of expensive wine in hand. Have a glass of wine. 3 sealed bottles sit on the sturdy-looking low table. They are labeled Grand Master's Blood, Boon of Terra, and Flame of Purity. You recall the vision of the past that Idira told you about. She said Theodora's favorite wine was Flame of Purity. Let's try Flame of Purity. The wine fills the glass, glittering in the dim light of the room like liquid gold. Its tangy flavor burns your throat, leaving behind a spicy, biting aftertaste. You hear a short, faint hum as an unseen motor steers into motion. Change the music! The vid screen of the data slate before you displays the names of several Vox symphonies. You recognize the melody that is playing right now. It is the first of 36 parts of the Symphony of Honor and Duty. Choose the piece Guitari Quar, the rhythm of machine and blessed metal. You hear a loud click inside the Vox speakers and the piece that was playing earlier starts anew. A siren shatters the tranquil atmosphere in the room. Alarms have been sounded. What is happening? In the name of the rogue trader house of Von Valancius, whoever has entered her ladyship's chambers will be eliminated. Am I prone? What am I doing? Your ladyship, deepest apologies for the intrusion. Do you require any assistance? But on second thought, we had better just leave you in peace. You fucking weirdos. Barging into my room like that? Get the hell out of my room! Can I get a moment of rest without anyone interrupting me? You bastards. A bed for the head of the rogue trader dynasty is befitting of the status of its owner. Oh my. Well, where is that guy I'm supposed to talk to? I can't find him. I don't know where he is. Aristocrats. None of these doors open. There's just some servitors here. I thought you would be either in the lobby or back here somewhere. Maybe I missed him. Let's have another look. Servitors, aristocrats, wardens. Doors I cannot open. Unacceptable. Oh, there he is. A slender figure clad in robes made from expensive fabric shudders from violent coughing. Pressing a gilded respirator to his face, the man takes several deep breaths. Achilles, it's been many moons. I hope your cousin is feeling well. She is in good health. She sends her regards to you as well as her wishes for your swift return. For as long as the stars shine in the sky, my vigil continues. So it does. I am not so foolish as to fail to notice a conversation in code. Your insight deserves a credit, rogue trader. Then again, I expected nothing less from Theodora von Valancius' successor. Allow me to introduce Achilles Calendar properly. In addition to his duties as Secretary of the Administratum, he acts as an agent of the Golden Throne under my aegis. Master's Calendar was transferred into my remit by a colleague who is engaged in other matters in the Corona's expanse. I'm sure you will find Achilles' service useful, especially when dealing with the schemes of humanity's foes within the borders of your protectorate. Greetings, Lady Pontificus von Valancius. Allow me once again to express my deepest condolences on the loss of Lady Theodora. I will do everything I can to track down and destroy all of Conrad Voidveer's accomplices on the capital world. The scars on your face, what happened? About 5 years ago, there was an accident. Several tanks of promethium exploded in the storehouse at my estate, and I was buried alive under the rubble. The Emperor preserved my soul, and the skilled physicians of Dargonus saved my body, except for my lungs, with which I had to part. I presume the incident was an attempt on my life, but the identity of whoever was behind it remains a mystery. You promised me a report of the present state of affairs in the Protectorate. I have already forwarded all official reports to your Seneschal. As for the conversation we're having right now, I wouldn't trust any paper or data slate with its contents. You see, Lady Theodora, may the Emperor have mercy on her soul, was perfectly aware of Dargonus' political environment. You, however, have only just arrived on the capital world, and I thought it would be best to bring you up to speed. Frankly, the nobles of Dargonus, much like nobles on most worlds, are akin to spiders in a jar, ready to pounce on whoever is the weakest, or whomever they deem to be the weakest. The nobles of Dargonus are well-respected, rich and powerful individuals who held Lady Theodora's favor for many years, and found ways to rise above the rest by diligently serving the rogue trader. Every family pursues its own selfish interests, and each one expects that with a transition of power they will retain and even add to their lands and wealth. The families I would recommend giving particular attention to are the Drivestems, the Grapraks, and the Sorebacks. I should also mention the Wersarians. Not a noble house per se, but a family that was a part of Lady Theodora's inner circle, to the Blue Blood's great displeasure. I would like to know more about the Wersarians. The Wersarians are a line founded by Lady Theodora Seneschal, and as such are nominally considered nobility, at least from the standpoint of the Imperial Navy from which Lord Abelard hails. On Dargonus, however, their position is precarious. Firstly, they never granted an official title, a process which has been impeded for decades by the houses of Dargonus, and secondly, the other families did not see them as equals, but more as upstarts clinging to the rogue trader's favor. The Wersarians are responsible for the capital world fleet and the majority of the cargo shipments on domestic routes. What makes the Grapraks special? The Grapraks hail from a remote forged world, and among their distant relatives there are many servants of the Omnissiah, and the house itself is close to the cult of the Adeptus Mechanicus, both in spirit and in their business connections. The Grapraks oversaw the industrial shipments within the Protectorate until recently. Ever since the astropathic communication with Kiava Gamma was severed, they've been quite concerned about the security of the planet placed in their care. Tell me about the Drivestems. The Drivestems are the ancient governor house of Dargonus. Predictably, the greater the wealth of the von Valancius Protectorate, the fuller their coffers grow. Their reputation is flawless except for one detail. We have evidence that urban Drivestem's rivals seem to have the misfortune of regularly falling victim to Xeno's raids. I find that these attacks are always a little too advantageous for the Drivestems, but we lack solid proof, and it might never surface. The closer an official is to rogue trader, the braver and safer they feel. I would just like to remind everyone that rubbing shoulders with Xenos is a heresy that can be overlooked only in the case of the von Valancius heir, not her servant. Thank you, Heinrichs, appreciate it. What can you tell me about House Sourback? Religious and hard-working, the Sourbacks own many enterprises including distillation manufactorums that produce promethium. I must note that lately members of the Sourback family have been prone to overly liberal statements about the von Valancius dynasty. They believe that Lady Theodora was a bit too keen to leave her worlds without proper oversight. After hear all that, I now feel the urge to have every one of those sycophants executed at once. You are naturally well within your right, rogue trader, but remember that this will cause the multi-layered bureaucratic system of Dargonus, of your entire protectorate, in fact, to come apart at the seams, and that's not even considering the likelihood of attempted reprisals from their families and allies. I would hold off on the death sentences, act with restraint and wisdom, present for all to see sufficient proof of the unwanted house guilt. Do not mistake me, mass executions are one way to solve your problems, but in that case you should weigh up every possible scenario before you act. Enough about the nobles. Was there anything else you wanted to report? There was, your ladyship, and this time it concerns the main reason for my presence on this planet. Xenos and the threat they pose both to you and to humanity as a whole. The last few months have been difficult for the people who report to me. My eyes and ears scattered throughout the Corona's expanse. Warp disturbances, astropaths overcome with madness, ship disappearing in the immaterium. Excuse me. Many of my observers and contacts have gone dark or have been killed by some calamity or other. Still, I managed to establish communication with some key individuals who were able to warn me about incoming threats, including Xenos raids. It is within my power to supply you with intelligence on where and when the Xenos will strike next. I do not doubt that Governor Drivestem will beg you for protection against the Xenos, and in this fight, the information from my contacts will serve you well. I beseech you, Pontificus, if I ever report a threat looming over a ship or a planet, do not dismiss it. Sometimes it takes an intervention from the rogue trader and her mighty void ship to avert a disaster. Do you know anything about what has become of Conrad Voigtveer? The former Master of Whispers is a heretic and a traitor to the dynasty. Word of his treason reached Dargonus too late. Conrad came to the planet and left it almost immediately, once he had sown discord in the minds of the gullible and naive. The worst of the rumors he started was that you were the one responsible for Lady Theodora's sudden demise. Of course, your loyal subjects did their best to skin alive any who showed signs of doubt. But it seems unlikely that the Wardens got to everyone who was allowed doubt into the hearts and now nurtures it in secret. What are your responsibilities here on Dargonus? Officially, I'm a secretary at this world's Administratum department. Less officially, I'm afraid I can't disclose that even to you. In short, I collect and investigate reports of heresy taking root on upstanding planets of humanity. Above all else, I'm concerned about the Xenos threat that hangs over the entire Corona's expanse, including your protectorate. Sadly, my mission was complicated by the recent warp disturbances. I am still trying to re-establish contact with many of my agents. Do you know anything about the cult of the Final Dawn? My knowledge is deplorably limited, your ladyship. All my attention has been focused on tracking Xenos activity. I'm certain that Master Von Kalox can tell you much more about those heretics than I. About your unofficial work? Achilles' amber eyes flash with interest. Yes? I want a list of all your agents and the means to contact them. I can understand your desire as a rogue trader to have everything under your control, and that I am not at liberty to make use of classified information related to the interrogator's agents in whatever way I see fit. There's no point in pressing my agents. None of them would even reveal such vital information, especially not in my presence. Whom do you truly serve? The rogue trader or the interrogator of the Inquisition? And whom does the rogue trader serve? The Golden Throne? The Protectorate? Could it be that one stems from the other? And if so, is there any sense in discussing it? I have learned all I wanted to. Tell me about Xenos. The residents of the local systems are no strangers to skirmishes with enemies of humanity, but recently the loathsome beasts seem to have completely flown off the handle. We're receiving reports from ships that made it through the warp to Dargonis. Both they and the colonies that they departed from are being attacked. We have identified the breed of Xenos that pose the threat, the Drukhari, humanity's ancient and insidious foes. Be vigilant on your travels. The Xenos will undoubtedly attack a rogue trader's ship should they find the circumstances to be in their favor. Unfortunately, in the host of humanities there are those who are willing to grovel before our enemies in the hopes of a valuable reward. You may be interested to know that we are on the trail of such heretics. Overwhelming evidence indicates that the plundered Void Station in Langren's Belt is being used as a base by a band of pirates who are not above dealing with Xenos. I was unable to persuade the Chancellor of the need to dispatch a ship there, but perhaps you would like to pay a courtesy call to these scoundrels yourself. I have other questions. I sincerely hope that I can answer every one of them. Tell me about the noble houses of Dargonis. I will gladly refresh your memory. Okay, never mind. We have nothing more to discuss. I need to leave. Tell Chancellor Wersarian that you're ready to receive the governor of the Okay, she's here. Achilles Calendar, does he cause any problems? Why, none at all, your ladyship. Secretary Scalander is an outstanding individual and a loyal servant of the von Valancius dynasty. In Lady Theodora's absence, we collaborated on a number of issues related to the well-being of your domain, and he has proven himself quite capable. And I don't know why, but even the governor trembles before Achilles, which is unusual for a man of his, shall we say, standing. Tell them that I'm ready to see the governor. I shall arrange for him to be escorted to your study. Pontificus von Valancius, 20th in her line, rogue trader, keeper of the sacred warrant, and ruler of the Coronus expanse from the Kranak system to the 100 Dreams crossroads. I bid you welcome. Orban Drivestem, governor of this great world. First and foremost, please accept my deepest condolences. It will be difficult to recover from the loss of a woman as great as Theodora von Valancius. It pains me to think that she is no longer with us. The citizens of Dargonis and of the entire Protectorate grieve alongside you. Please allow us to declare half a year of mourning, so that we can honor the memory of our beloved lady. There is no need. I am the new ruler of the Protectorate. Let my subjects rejoice at my arrival instead. Your ladyship, these are centuries-old traditions, sacred customs and rules. Do not forget who it is you serve, Orban Drivestem. If it is the rogue trader's wish to not have a mourning ceremony, then so be it. Perhaps the venue installed by Lady Theodora cares not for the sacred traditions of our founding ancestors, but Pontificus von Valancius is a descendant of the true children of Dargonis. It behoves the ruler of a world to honor its customs. I do honor traditions, Governor. Later, when things in the Protectorate settle down, we will declare a mourning period. As you will, your ladyship. Esteemed Pontificus, Lady Theodora was a strong leader, and we ought to follow her example. Let us lean on our wisdom and persevere in spite of this tragedy, together, and let us carry on where she no longer can be leading the von Valancius Protectorate to even greater prosperity. Alas, it won't be an easy task to accomplish. Some time ago, the astropaths of Dargonis flew into a rage, and they had to be subdued. We are gradually restoring our ability to speak with neighboring worlds, but the contacts are still weak, and the routes are tangled and no longer lead to the systems that the captains expect them to. Given that the vast majority of ships in the Dargonis Navy travel without relying on the services of navigators, without your engagement, the well-being of the von Valancius dynasty and billions of its subjects is presently at risk. We met a ship from Dargonus not too long ago. The crew was transporting a strange artifact and went mad during the flight. This is truly a regrettable bit of news. What's more, leaving Dargonus has been forbidden for several cycles now. It seems the Wersarian family has once again failed in their primary responsibilities. We will investigate this at once, as well as the fact that the ship has to acquire a permit with the Administratum seal. Does your nephew still serve at the Administratum Palace? I don't understand. The ship did indeed depart from orbit, but it did also, if you can believe it, on the rogue trader's authorization. That is why no one dared to impede its departure. Lord Captain, it would seem that Conrad somehow got his hands on a copy of your authorization, or perhaps even the original. A tool like that in the hands of a traitor does not bode well. Conrad Voidveer, former Master of Whispers, is a heretic and a traitor, as he's shown his face on Dargonus. Lord Voidveer visited the capital some time ago, but he did not request a personal meeting. A heretic, you say? Now I see where all the whispering in the corridors has come from. I shall be frank with you, your ladyship. Lady Theodora's sudden death was a blow to every one of us, and the absence of any sort of verifiable and complete information about her successor gives grounds for all manner of rumors and misinterpretations, especially if someone is deliberately inciting unrest and discontent. Naturally, none would dare challenge you by accusing you of something as sacrilegious as murdering a rogue trader. However, Conrad Voidveer was once a true boon to the Protectorate back in the day, and as such, some might heed his words. Should we go for it? I sentence all who have dared to make heretical remarks about the rogue trader to servitude in perpetuis. Machines aren't prone to dissidence. I shall immediately make all the arrangements so that your order can be carried out properly. What exactly do the Dargonus nobility expect from me in light of the loss of routes and communication with other worlds? We are all troubled by the fate of the agri-world Janus that supplied Dargonus and the other planets with foodstuffs. Empty stomachs can drive even the mildest rebel to revolt. Furthermore, House Gaprak is perturbed by the loss of communication with industrial world Kiava Gamma, which is in their charge. But if you wish to know my opinion, the world that deserves your attention the most in the penal world, Viabo 6, one of the key mining suppliers in your protectorate. Such intriguing concern for the Viabo 6 outpost. Doesn't your house happen to own the extraction stations there? Your ladyship, I beg of you, do not interpret my words as an attempt to influence your decision in any way. You see, without Viabo 6, the manufactorums on your worlds will need to make haste to find new suppliers elsewhere and arrange for new shipments. And in these troubling times, they run the risk of delays and other most tragic mishaps. My only concern is for the prosperity of the von Valancius dynasty. I've already visited the agri-world Janus. Governor Viet found herself facing a number of problems in my absence. Truly, the Viet line is one of the oldest in the von Valancius protectorate. If the inheritor of such well-respected blood could not handle whatever had befallen her, then the situation must have been extraordinary indeed. Vistenza succumbed to worshipping the ruinous powers and was executed. Ruinous powers? Truly horrifying news. I commend your resolve and unwavering severity. Death to the enemies of humanity. That does it for the planets and the trade routes. What else? Xenos, your ladyship. I don't rightly know where to begin. Otherworldly beasts are not an uncommon sight in the Coronos expanse. They have been a menace to the worlds this side of the Maw for decades. But now those abominations are on the rampage. They show no signs of fear as they attack ships, either damaging them to the point where they become unfit for transport duty, or outright gutting them. Only you have the power to stop this madness. We are in the process of restoring the astropathic Quar of Dargonus. Luckily, we were forced to slay only some of the deranged psychers, although those that remain are as yet unable to transmit messages. I hope Master Scalander will keep his word and offer you his support in the war against the Xenos. According to his reports, the region of Viabo 6 has been of particular concern in the last few cycles, which is all the more reason to discover the colony's fate as soon as possible. Now to issues on a smaller scale. There is a certain degree of tension in the capital due to the unorthodox succession of the Sacred Warrant. Chances of uprising are minimal, of course, and the spreading of rumors is nothing but a sign of weakness of mind and spirit. Nonetheless, I have prepared a list of minor houses that have demonstrated unseemingly discomposure at your succession. What is to be done about them? Eliminate the most prominent malcontents quietly, but do not threaten entire families. Hopefully these steps will be enough to keep the rest from causing any more trouble. Once your ladyship's wrath descends upon the guilty, have no doubt, there won't be a soul on Dargonus willing to share their fate. And one last thing. Your ladyship, your inauguration as bearer of the Sacred Warrant is but a matter of time, and I would like to inquire about one crucial detail. I imagine you are intending to uphold the centuries-old tradition, bolstered by an equally long-lasting friendship of being represented on Dargonus by one of the noble houses. I presume that, as before, this duty will be accorded to House Drivestem. One moment. Which houses can represent me at the ceremony? Any of the noble houses located on Dargonus. The Drivestem family, which I lead, the Gaprak family, with long ties to the Adeptus Mechanicus, the Sourbacks, known for their piety and diligence in service. Perhaps I should also mention the Wersarians, who have some influence, but who are not actually of noble origin. Any one of these houses would be honored to represent you at the ceremony. Your presumption is wrong. I will bestow this honor upon the Wersarians. Lord Captain, to accompany you at such a critical hour is the greatest honor for the Wersarian bloodline. Have no fear, we will not fail you. Forgive my boldness, but I must remind you that the Wersarians, whose lineage traces back to a Navy officer, are not of the Dargonus nobility. Such decisions may have adverse effects on your subjects' loyalty, your ladyship. I shall immediately relay your commands, most gracious rogue trader. Thank you for your time. I would like to complete my inauguration as rogue trader as soon as possible. When is the ceremony? I'm afraid that until you deal with the pressing issues, the ceremony will have to be postponed. Many trade routes are still unavailable. The central worlds of the Von Valancius Protectorate are going through a crisis, and the warp disturbances, if void observers are to be believed, will prevent important guests from reaching the capital. Tell me about yourself and House Drivestem. It would be my pleasure to enlighten you. My house is the oldest and most respected on Dargonus. My ancestors walked side by side with yours for many generations as they cared for this world's welfare. Our duty is to supervise the governing bodies within the system subservient to you, and we are responsible for the Protectorate's logistics and economic stability. As for me personally, I am a humble servant of the Emperor and a loyal subject of the Rogue Trader, and to my great pleasure I have the honor of calling myself Lady Theodora's close friend. At Urban's last words, Abelard lets out a sound that could be interpreted as either a snort or a cough. Urban gives him a look, which Abelard meets with an expression of utter nonchalance. That will be all, I take it? Thank you for your time, your ladyship. Since duty calls, I shall take my leave. May the Emperor Grace be with you. Ow! Ow! I hit my hand! Ow! So what do I do now? Anything for me to steal here or anyone else? Who wanted to talk to me? Heinrichs wanted to talk to me? Hold on, what am I doing? Oh, I forgot about my contracts. Can I complete contracts? Hello? Yes. 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 People need plasteel. I must give it to them. People and weapons. I mean, sure, I have... Shadowy dealings. Quests. This is for Kiava Gamma. Blades in the Void. Forge a path to Viabo 6. So this is where we're going next, I take it. Kiava Gamma. There's a lot going on in Kiava Gamma, but that's pretty far off. Also, what's happening here? 0% executed. I'm going to execute all of you for not executing my orders. I can't build anything else. Let's get to... This is the Void Ship Bridge? Only the Void Ship Bridge? Whoa, 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 who is that? Where are you going? Hello. I want to see what Mundus Valancius is. Terrible news from Dargonus, Lord Captain. Subsidiary hive city Scipion 84249 has been destroyed in a series of cascading failures. Production has halted, and millions of people have broken their vows of obedience and are fleeing. Many of them are perishing in the wastelands or overloading the transport lines leading to neighboring hives. The surrounding residential sectors are becoming increasingly agitated by the influx of refugees. What is your directive regarding the distribution of these refugees? What say my advisors? The death of Achilles' agents troubles me. It may not be a coincidence. Until the causes of the disaster can be concretely established, I would avoid letting refugees into other hives. There may be saboteurs among them. I recommend setting up prohibitive cordons where the refugees can be contained in the wastelands between the hives. The Emperor bids us to face the often cruel strokes of fate with dignity. If the other hives do not wish to accept the unfortunate victims of this tragedy, then let the victims themselves teach those living in the hives a lesson in resilience and humility. I am sure that the Ecclesiarchy will aid the refugees in constructing camps to survive out in the wastelands and establish a community of proud desert-dwelling martyrs. Such harsh conditions will be a crucible of fortitude and fearlessness. This tragedy a feat of spirit. The noble houses are trying to wash their hands of this how predictable, and yet it is their duty to see to it that the planet meets its tithe obligation and brings glory and revenue to the treasury in your absence. Let the aristocrats see the refugees and not stop until every last one of them has been put to work. Argenta, see to it that the Ecclesiarchy does not ignore the laments of the dispossessed. He who dares to remain deaf to the pleas of the destitute shall be branded a traitor to the faith. Large labor settlements were set up around the ruins of Scipion 84249. The refugees from the wastelands and neighboring hives have been rounded up there. In the harsh wastelands scorched with industrial poison, with only a bare modicum of food and clean water, the settlement residents have begun the arduous and dangerous task of rebuilding their fallen home. Many of the Ecclesiarchy's priests sought to share in this burden with the poor souls, coming to their villages and preaching to them about their righteousness of hard work. Some priests have even chosen to stay in the camps permanently, where the desert cults of Aconite martyrs have begun to gather around them, glorifying the Lord Captain for granting them the right to suffer for the glory of the God Emperor. I'm a monster. Oh my, we can build things. Restoration. People. Emporium. Ship compo... I'm doing Emporium. Let's do this. I still have business on Dargonus. Let's go to the Administratum. I bet there's a lot more reading now. Oh my. I can't wait. I need to drink some water. Oh no, we leveled up! Again!
Curiosity sings in my veins.
Welcome to the palace of the Adeptus Administratum. Your ladyship, please follow me. Okay, but there's loot here. Can I take it? Where is it? Hello? It's behind that door. Where did that thing go? Nyam 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 nyam. Loot! Towering piles of papers and endless shelves here with ledgers evoke special reverence of the laws of God Emperor. Okay.
There will be no peace in my wake.
Chronicle of a case. Master. Where are the goods? Where are the goods? Give this to me. Departamento Exacta reports. An ancient-looking woman in a voluminous robe peers at you critically through her ocular lenses when you descend into the bowels of her bureaucratic domain.
Another noble bypassing the queue under the pretext of just wanted to ask. All you highborn ever want is just to ask. But what about protocol? That's what I'm asking. Who is going to follow protocol? What? So I paid off a few clerks to let us skip the queue, Shireen. Your time is more important to me than any little formalities. Very well, don't just stand there, you're here now. Or do you think the Master of Seal has nothing better to do than receive unexpected visitors? Begin entry, current hour, current turn, current cycle, 41st millennium.
Don't you want to know who I am?
Pontificus von Valancius, sole heir of rogue trader Theodora von Valancius, may the throne's radiance guide her path on the other side. The sole person to publicly assert their calm, to be precise. Abelard Wersarian, seneschal and right hand of the now departed Theodora von Valancius, and of her now extinct heir. A lady navigator of House Urselio, whose name and deeds are unknown to me. It says here that the von Valancius dynasty has owed your throne one gold throne for 30 Terran years. Here, take this, and I at last will mark the matter closed. House Urselio thanks you for your service, Master of Seals. Of course. I know who is standing before me. 'Tis my job to know. Does that mean that my reputation has preceded me as well, esteemed Damar? No, I have received no reports about you.
My companion wishes to obtain a Mercatum Tabula Officiale?
I take it you are her sponsor. In that case, you must submit a written application in conformity with Template 40401, as well as a written permission for the processing and authorization of the personal data of your most sacred personage. Without it, I cannot issue Mistress Haydari. Mistress Haydari, the form for collecting the seals required to obtain the Mercatum Tabula Officiale, the certificate of an official trade representative.
Oh, now I remember why I wanted this for. Seals? What seals?
We will discuss that when Pontificus von Valancius has prepared the primary documentation.
Abelard lets out a stoic sigh and rolls his eyes. You get the feeling that this is not his first personal interaction with the Administratum bureaucracy, nor it is his second. There is no way of getting around these formalities?
Fear the wrath of the Immortal One, your ladyship. What would become of your protectorate or even the Imperium itself if every person did what you are proposing? No Lex Imperialis Volume 249, Paragraph 18-2, Amendment of the 12th year of the previous millennium clearly states, actions that circumvent the sacred law of the Imperium in pursuit of personal gain are a manifestation of human weakness, which is subject to eradication.
Complete the application. The perfectly sharpened quill scratches pleasantly on the parchment, but for the first few minutes, the obfuscatory phrasing, footnotes, amendments, you are forced to write out the same details over and over and over about you, the Protectorate, Theodora von Valancius, Jai, and then also every living person who bears your family name. If you do not know all the required information, you must complete supplementary forms. Oh my god! It's like going to the IRS.
Next is the consent form from the processing and notarization of the personal data of your most sacred personage.
I'm already regretting my decision. Give your written consent on the presented form.
Protocol executed. Application received. Processed. Approved.
Come on, esteemed Damar. What's that you were saying about seals?
Here is your document, Mr. Skeidari. Unfortunately, it does not yet have legal force. I can certify it as a sacred Mercatum Tabula Official once it has received 2 seals of approval. They are easy to obtain. In the Imperium Court, Administratum servitors have been handling such tasks for over 50 years. There is one such servitor here on Dargonus in the Rogue Trader's Palace. The second is duty-bound to keep the seal in the Telecos Epsilon system.
Oh, we have to go back again? This is where Janus is! Why can't the seals not be affixed here in the Administratum Palace?
According to Amendment 3C8, implemented by Prefectus Estinia II of Dargonus, one of the seals must be kept in the palace of the ruler for the von Valancius Protectorate, remaining a symbol of the unbreakable link between the Sacred Warrant and the Adeptus Administratum. The second seal is held in the Telecos Epsilon system in accordance with Decree OL008 SN. Unfortunately, after a fire 200 years ago, all that remains of the original decree is an addendum certified by an unknown adept with the initials AA. No instructions repealing this decree were even received from Holy Terra. Therefore, the seal remains where it ought to be.
Find Administratum servitors and have them place 2 seals of approval. The goal is clear.
Please do return once you have prepared the documents.
Oh my god. What a pain in the ass, and I'm doing this for you. For you, Jai. Remember that. Fucking bureaucracy bullshit. And where's that box?
My nerves are frayed.
There is something in there. Open the door for me. There is loot in there. How do I open that door? Maybe not yet. I just realized I've been reading for an hour. I am tired. Throne room. Oh. We want to go to the palace to get one of the seals. The Telecos Epsilon one is going to be a pain in the butt, but someone's gotta do it. I was supposed to be in the palace, not outside of it. I think I know exactly where the servitors are. Where the hell am I? Taking my sweet time there. These are probably the ones, hoping. This is the only servitors I found. Oh my god, none of them will do it. Where do I go for this? Find the seal on Jan as the Master of Seals recommended request one of the seals in the Rogue Trader's Palace. Oh! Clementia Wersarian. She knows about that stuff. Okay, off we go. I see Jai is already there.
Mr. Skeidari, my patience is not easily exhausted, but you are coming very close. Can you please talk slower? I can see the family resemblance with Abelard now. You cannot see farther than your own nose, my dear Clementia. Let the Rogue Trader decide.
What is happening?
Your ladyship, I apologize for this ugly scene, but might I ask that you rein in Mr. Skeidari and put a stop to her inflammatory actions toward me? As the Exalted One is my witness, Shireen, I've tried everything I could to spare you any unnecessary headache over the seals for the Mercatum Tabula Officiali. I even sowed the aid with a temper worse than a sunstorm, the certificate with your signature.
The way I read it, okay, gave me a headache. What?
I even showed the aid with a temper worse than a sandstorm, the certificate with your signature. But your Chancellor merely kept battling me away with her flare of baseless denials. I suspect that the reason for this has nothing to do with my humble personage.
Clementia purses her lips and glowers at Jai.
Oh no, this isn't about me at all. I see. Well, Chancellor, will you tell us yourself or should I help you?
Whatever's the matter, Mr. Wersarian?
I am afraid that my words may anger your ladyship. The seal you are looking for was lost over a quarter of a century ago. Your ladyship Theodora von Valancius ordered a new one to be delivered from the Imperium, but as you well know, we are a long way away from the Holy Terra, and with warp storms ravaging the Coronus expanse, we have been unable to receive a replacement to this day. I presume the one responsible was punished promptly and harshly. Rest assured, Theodora von Valancius ordered to have the malefactor dealt with accordingly. Servitude in perpetuis, your ladyship. He now performs his duties to the Imperium without reservation or error. However, one of the worlds under Caligo's Winterscale rule, like Dargonus, was granted the honor of keeping the sacred sigils of the Administratum. The archives of House von Valancius mention 3 systems that are presently under the control of House Winterscale. Those would be the Forgotten Twins, Langren's Belt, and the Nameless Star. I am confident that the Administratum Palace is located on one of the planets there. We have a better chance of finding the seal in the pocket of some rich collector or fence than on a remote world owned by one of your rivals, Shireen. I suggest we make contact with any traders we may encounter in our travels. People in my line of work tend to have a good eye for such things. There is every possibility that someone has waited their whole life to return the great relic to its rightful owner.
Wait, we found it? Could this be the seal in question?
This is without a doubt the Administratum seal from Winterscale's realm. But why is it in the original and not a copy? Ah, I think I understand. Well, the laws of the Imperium do not prohibit heirs of other houses from using the seal in times of need. I will order to have servants of the machine cult create a duplicate so as to avoid such embarrassing predicaments in the future.
There is something I must discuss with the Chancellor in private.
Oh, by all means, Shireen. I dare not waste any more of the precious balm that is your time on matters related to me, if I may excuse myself.
Oh, just random stuff. Yeah, I don't really want to ask anything. Well, we have to go back to Janus, looks like, or to a planet that is adjacent to Janus. But that is a story for another time. As for us now, we'll take a short break, and I'll see you on the next episode of Rogue Trader. Until then, thank you everybody for watching. Have fun whatever you do. Take care of yourselves, and don't forget, keep on gaming. I will see you all next time.